All right, hello, boys and girls. So we are on lesson 54 in math. We are talking about calendar. We are talking about rounding numbers to the nearest thousand. All right, just making sure I am recording. So we are lesson 54. So the calendar and rounding numbers to the nearest thousand. So pause me if you need to. Pages 344 to 350. All right, we're going to talk about a year first. So a year is the length of time it takes the Earth to travel around the sun. Right, so the Earth goes around the sun. A day is the length of time it takes the Earth to spin around once on its axis. It takes the Earth almost exactly 365 and 1/4 days to travel around the sun. That's interesting, right? Because a year is 364 days, except every 4 years is a leap year, and we have one extra day added. And this 1/4 is why we have that extra day. So that's what you're going to say here. To make the number of days in every year a whole number, we have 3 years in a row that have 365 days each. These are called common years. Then we have a year with 366 days, and that is a leap year. So we're going to write that down. 365 days equals a common year. 366 days, that is what we call a leap year. That's our one extra day every 4th year. Okay, so a year is divided into 12 months. So we're going to write that down. 1 year equals 12 months. All right. So we know that the month February is 28 days in common years and 29 days in leap years. 4 months have 30 days. The rest have 31. If we know the 4 months that have 30 days, we can remember the number of days in the other months. So the following jingle helps us remember the months of 30 days. It says 30 days have September, April, June, and November. February has 28 alone. All the rest have 31, excepting leap year. That's when February's days are 29. Okay, so a couple more pieces of information about the calendar. A decade is 10 years, and a century is 100 years. So decade is 10 years. A century is 100 years. Right? Centimeter, 100. All right, so those are helpful hints. Okay, so how many days does December have? We can go back to our rhyme. 30 days have September, April, June, and November. Those are 30 days months. February is 28 alone. Tells us December does not have 31 days. We're always asking, how many days are in this month? So now we know December has 31 days. Another way to remember December is we celebrate a holiday on December 31st. We celebrate New Year's Eve, right? And we know that's December 31st. So that's another helpful way to remember that. All right, I'm running out of space on my desk. The next problem, according to the calendar, May 10, 2014 is what day of the week? Okay, so to find on a calendar what day of the week, so May 2014, we have to go over to May 10th. Okay, so Smithwick's is how we might see a calendar. That's how our calendar is at school. So we have Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So May 10th is on a Saturday. And it's the second Saturday of the month. We can count the number of Saturdays by just going down this column right here. So May 10th, 2014 is on a Saturday. All right, the Pilgrims sailed to America, landed at Cape Cod in 1620. The colonies adopted the Declaration of Independence in 1776. Write a later minus earlier difference equation and solve it to find the number of years between those two historic events. All right, so the problem is comparing 2 years, 1620 and 1776, those two numbers. To find that difference means subtract, right? We think later to earlier, right? So we subtract the earlier date from the later date. So what we're going to do And I'm going to do over here, 1776, 1620. So we are trying to find how many years in between, not what year. We're trying to find how many years. So 6 take away 0 is 6. 7 minus 2 is 5. 7 minus 6 is 1. So there are 156 years between those two events. All right. So that is how long in between. So that's a way that you can do that when I've asked questions like that. All right. So the next section, rounding numbers to the nearest thousand. To round a number to the nearest thousand, we find the multiple of 1,000 to which the number is closest. The multiples of 1,000 are the numbers in this sequence: 1,000, 2,000, 3,000. Number line can help us understand rounding. All right, so 7,836 tickets were sold for the first professional indoor soccer game of the season. Round the number of tickets sold to the nearest thousand. So first, I need to write that down. I need to see the number. So 7,836, and I'm going to write tickets. So I remember what I'm talking about were sold. So I need to round this to the nearest thousand. Okay, so one thing that might be helpful for you is to draw just a little short number line. And we're just going to start with 7,000. And then right in the middle, 7,500, 7,500. And then at the end, 8,000. Okay, so 7,800, that's going to be bigger. That's more than the 500. Right, so this is our bossy number that tells the 7 what to do. Number in the hundreds tells the number in the thousands what to do. So we look at the 8, and then we find the number closest to it in the 100 spot. And so 7,836 is going to be about right here. So that number is going to round to 8,000. So our number in the hundreds place, our digit in the hundreds place tells the thousands place what to do. All right. A special exhibit at a museum was seen by 34,186 visitors. To the nearest thousand, how many visitors saw the exhibit? All right, so we're going to read in the book a little bit. One way to round 34,186 is to see that 34,186 is between 34,000 and 35,000. Halfway from 34 to 35 will be 34,500. But since 34,186 is less than halfway, we know that it's closer to 34,000. So about 34,000 saw the exhibit. So another way to round is to focus the digit in the hundreds place. This is what I was sharing with you. I think this is the best, personally the most effective way for this kind of problem. So 34,186. So to round this digit in the thousands place, you know what, before we do that, I'm going to bring the 3 down because I know the 3 is going to stay the same. All right, so I look at my 1, the number in the hundreds place is bossy, and it tells the 4 what to do. At either 4 or less, stay at rest. 5 or more, up the score, raise the score. So the 1 is less than 4. So that means the 4 will stay the same. So we're going to round it to 34,000 visitors. About. So that's a keyword, about 34,000 visitors. All right. So we're going to do just a couple more. So we're going to round this number to the nearest 1,110. I'm going to flip my paper over. So we have 5,486. So we're going to round it to the nearest 1,000. So first, I'm going to look at my 4. My 4 tells the 5 to stay at rest. So thousands would be 5,000. And then I'm going to rewrite it so we don't get confused. Then it wants me to round the hundreds. So if I'm rounding the hundreds, I'm going to look in the tens place. My bossy tens place will tell the hundreds what to do. So the 8 tells the 4 to raise the score to 5,500. And then we have the tens place. So to figure out where my tens place is going, I got to look in my ones. So my bossy 6 is going to tell my digit in the tens place to go up one more. So 5,490. So we have thousands, hundreds, and tens. Voila. All right. So there we have those. All right. So these are just kind of review questions. How many days are in a leap year? That's in the book. Surrounding each number to the nearest thousand. Let's take this one. Do one more practice. 6,746. So this is our digit in the thousands. Our 7 tells the 6 what to do. 7 is more than 5, so it tells the 6 to round up to 7. So just pay careful attention to what they want you to round the numbers to. All right, so there is your math lesson.